Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a channel where somebody who talks to you who is in his mid-30s and grew up in the 1990s. And kids, if you don't know much about the 1990s, besides maybe the music and the TV shows, know that it was a time before wireless internet, where something called the Game Boy with batteries could make or break your sneak into school. And life just felt a little slower, though it was faster than the 1980s, which was also, from when I hear quite a few subscribers' experiences growing up as a kid in the 1980s, a Goonies-like adventure that was even more secluded, slower, but also simpler back then. I say that because in the 90s, I watched a lot of comic book cartoon shows, Batman the Animated Series, I know it's DC, but the X-Men and the Spider-Man Fox Saturday morning cartoon show was a hit, and I learned most of my comic book knowledge from those shows. But as you can imagine, that is a very limited sample size compared to all the different Marvel champions in the game or coming to the game, and I have learned that the hard way. And so if you are like me, you probably don't recognize the name I'm about to say, and yet if you're not like me, you might be thinking, yeah, you don't know about him, you are a noob, get good. Gabriel Stacy of Earth 616 is allegedly the teased champion from today's Kabam live stream. You can see this outline. And I'm always like looking at different champions, thinking about how they look like different champions. Like it kind of looks like Doc Ock in a way, Doctor Doom in a way, Warlock in a way even. Obviously he looks like some scorpion legs, all kinds of evil stuff. Mojo a little bit. You do not want this champion crawling through your pipes. Gabriel Stacy. Codenames the Gray Goblin and the American Sun. Harry Osborn is the name that I know from, again, the cartoon show as well as so many different successful and failed Spider-Man movies. And so Harry Osborn devised a cruel plan prior to his death to torture both his father, Norman, and his former best friend, Peter Parker. With the help of Mendel Strom, he built a secret laboratory in the Parisian? Is that Parisian? Osborn Manor and genetically engineered two bodies spliced from Norman and Gwen Stacy's DNA. That is a wild origin story. A boy named Gabriel and a girl named Sarah, they were created to torture Peter, Norman, and Mary Jane Watson. This is as dark as it gets. By making them believe Gwen had cheated on Peter with Norman. Just threw up a little bit in my mouth. And got impregnated, double cough, with Harry going as far as to hiring Mysterio to hypnotize, gosh, why is that a hard word to say today? Both Norman and Mary Jane to implant false memories, which corroborated that narrative. The twins were raised by an artificial intelligence design. This is so complex from Harry and Norman's minds, who inherited Harry's revenge plots after he died, to believe that lie as well. So, you look at this. Ooh, that looks terrifying. Wow. So, if you keep scrolling all the way down, you'll eventually see what I think most people care about most, and that is, okay, what's this new champion's abilities going to be like? Well, intelligent, speedy, durable, got some energy projection and fighting skills, along with potential resurrection. So maybe we're looking at some immortality, though we just countered that with one of the best champions of this month, obviously. So resurrection, possession, superhuman strength, invulnerability. Again, invulnerability and resurrection in this game can be the same thing or similar things. Gabriel was born with inherited abilities from his genetic father, Norman, including super strength, reflexes, healing, and endurance, as well as accelerated aging. He later injected himself with a second dose of the Goblin formula and thus increased his existing abilities as well as attained new ones. He later was injected with the Super Soldier Goblin formula. So look, I know we've got Red Goblin, we've got Green Goblin, we've got a lot of Spider-Men. Kabam Jax joked on today's Kabam live stream that there was like 20 different Spider-Men, and I thought, oh, that's kind of close, it feels like. So, yeah, there's always mixed reviews about bringing in another champion that's got similar backgrounds, but I don't know who this person is, and I'm sure some of you are really jacked and excited to have them in the game. So are you excited? Does this get you excited for July? keep in mind that we expect by the end of June and the beginning of July to have what could be a double Kabam store worth of purchases between the in-game and outside the game for an asking price of $1,500 to $1,600. I hope not, but something tells me that's what the stars are aligning to do. Either way, thank you to Double R. Thank you to my man Brian Shadow Strike and others who sent this to me so we could cover it on the channel today.